Welcome to the International Certificate in Financial Services Risk Management. I'm going to spend a few minutes explaining to you why the IRM is delivering this course and why we're so excited about it. As you'll have noticed, in 2008 the financial crisis occurred and financial institutions and their risk management practices gained significant attention. Why is that? Well, quite simply, in the global economy they are a considerable contributor. Most Western economies have strong banks and strong insurers that deliver a significant proportion of their revenues. Those institutions have been subject to a range of regulations from before the financial crisis with Basel I and Basel II through to post-crisis with Solvency II and now Basel III. Through this course you'll learn about the development of those regulations, the importance of the institutions to global economies, and the risk management practices that are put in place within those institutions to manage the not insignificant risks within the institutions. What are the aims of this module? Well, quite simply, the module aims to introduce you to the principles and concepts of risk management within financial services institutions. We look at the history of risk management within those institutions, and we look at the current drivers of some of that risk management practice. Particularly, we look at the development of regulations which drive some of the risk management standards and expectations within those firms. We look at how risks arise within financial services institutions, and we look at how the institutions classify those risks, how they identify them, how they assess them, including a range of quantification techniques, and how they report on them. What are the module learning outcomes? Well, first of all, you should be able to recognise the key concepts of risk management within the financial services environment. You should be able to discuss and understand the key regulations driving risk management practice within an FS environment, and to be able to articulate what a risk management framework looks like within an FS environment. Within that, you'll be able to describe the key risks in a financial services company, and you'll be able to explain how the key risks arise out of their main business processes. Within the risk management framework, you'll be able to describe the component parts and key tools and techniques around identification and assessment, including, for example, stress testing or value at risk techniques. Lastly, we'll look at some of the key controls in place within the financial services environment to actually help firms manage those risks. So, what does the module look like? Well, it's broken down into a number of units that we think lead you through the subject matter in a logical manner. Unit 1 therefore starts off looking at different types of risk and discusses the definitions that we might use to describe those different risks. Unit 2 then starts to discuss different risk management standards. So what guides the way that we implement risk management? What are the external expectations around how we implement risk management? Unit 3 then discusses how we might implement risk management, how we build a business case for it within the organisation. In Unit 4, we then move down into the actual risk management framework itself and look at some of the component parts. We look at tools for identification of risk and classification of risk. We talk about risk causes and risk consequences. Unit 5 then moves on to look at risk analysis and evaluation. In this unit, we look at some of the key tools within the financial services environment, such as stress testing or value at risk. We also consider those tools that the regulators tell us we have to use to quantify risks, and those tools that we might choose to use ourselves, whether the regulator asks us to or not. In Unit 6, we then move on to look at risk control. That might be as simple as buying insurance to mitigate a risk, but there are a wide range of mitigation techniques within the financial services environment across the range of risks, and we discuss a number of those within this unit.